Mama Max, you had your chance, and you ruined it.
Mama Max was one of my favorite content creators on the platform for a long time. If you don't know who Mama Max is, he basically does these deep dives and collabs with people like Nexpo and some ordinary gamers to basically track down, I don't know if I can say bad people, weirdos, people who are weird online and do weird things and try to contact, kids and stuff and all that kind of stuff. And so he hunts them down online and gets information, enough evidence, and then reports it to the police. And he does these, deeper pieces, which usually leaves his videos to be censored by YouTube, demonetized, what have you. In addition, he has a lot of performative art. It's very dark, edgy, and for a while I didn't mind it. I really enjoyed his content, but like a lot of things, when you watch too much of it, when you're absorbed and fascinated in that kind of world, that kind of space, it gets heavy. You get depressed. You get sad. You don't want to constantly watch and hear about these horrendous things that, yes, are very important. Throughout this video, do not get anything wrong. I think it is a very important issues that he discusses and goes over, but at the same time, absorbing it too much and just constantly being made and brought aware to it, it's shattering. It's earth-shattering. Humans are despicable. They're evil. They're vile. But at the same time, we shouldn't be absorbing and consuming that type of content all the time. Overall, I'm all for Mama Max's mission to track down these weirdos and bring them to justice, along with anyone else that's helping him with this cause, his spreading of awareness for, abused and exploited children and, so forth. If you're not for that, then what's wrong with you? Children are the future. They need to be protected. And I do think awareness is good, but, the way Mama Max has been going about it, and I'll get into the details in the tea in a minute, is he wants everyone always talking about it, always doing his mission. A call to action is good, but he went over the line. And I'll just get into it right now. Basically, he released a video that's, exposing or canceling, and then it's a thumbnail of Moist Critical, which leads people to think that Charlie's being canceled, and all of Mama Max's content is about, creeps and weirdos. So now it's misconstruing that Charlie is one of these people. And when you click on the video, it ends up not being that. He talks about it's more of a purposeful, meta commentary, hit piece on just how people with bigger platforms need to be following his call to action and bringing awareness to their fans about all these horrible things. And the reason he went to critical was, I personally think, for two reasons. I don't know this for a fact, but he reached out a few times to Charlie. Charlie didn't respond because he was sick with COVID, and Charlie talked about this, so he did not give Mama Max his blessing to use, his footage, his face, and all of that for this video. It's like a Trojan horse, as Charlie would say. And then also because Charlie's a likable guy, and it's clickbait. It's literally clickbait. It's literally trying to get people to watch the video and then essentially trap them, manipulate them, guilt them into following his mission. And that's where his whole thing falls apart. And I want to quickly talk about it and then dive a little bit into it, because it made me sick. It actually made me sick seeing this. Not because it's against a parasocial person that Charlie's Charlie. He's a YouTuber, right? It's fine. But the whole core purpose Mama Max was setting out, he ruined for himself. He made it about him versus about his mission and his call to action. And taking it back one step, not every single person needs to always be talking about, missing and exploited children. Some places are not appropriate for that. You don't see Disney Channel at the commercial break after watching Phineas and Ferb doing some really triggering, oh, hey, blah, 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 blah. Yes, you can have messages about safety to children in a more presentable fashion, but not every big YouTuber, every big channel, every big person needs to constantly be talking about this negative stuff. There's a time and a place for that. If you want your channel to do that, if you want more channels like yours to be able to do that, that's different. But this call to action to Charlie and to all these content creators, it's sad, it's pathetic, and it's getting the attention for all the wrong reasons. I have professionally worked with children for a better part of a decade of my life, and I was even a child psych specialist for a while. Not a psychologist, but a specialist. It's kind of like a higher version of a psych tech. I was able to run group and have therapeutic sessions with some patients from the ages of 4 all the way up to 18. Besides the fact, protecting kids is my huge thing. Like, I absolutely advocate for spreading awareness and safety for children online and social spaces, and I think these issues are extremely important. However, even with my content, whether it be this channel, OCDsaster, my Sonic channel, you don't see me talking about this at all. Not because I don't care, but because there's a time and a place, there's an appropriate spot. You don't know who you're going to trigger. You don't need to make it about, all these negative things all the time. People want an escape from the negativity, and they want to see something bright. You don't ignore it, and people have it, and Charlie has it. When the Cuties documentary came out and it seemed very sketchy and Sneeko was being weird about it, like, sure, Charlie has a more comedic approach to it, but he addressed it. And it's not like when those things happen, he doesn't come out about it. It's just his whole thing is his brand, and he doesn't want it to always be this dark, edgy, deep stuff all the time, which makes sense. So calling him out was super stupid. And then fortunately, a lot of Mama Max's fans, even in the comments, are coming at him. They're like, hey, like, this isn't cool. Like, we're all for your message. We agree with, trying to make this awareness spread, but you're going about it the wrong way, which I really am glad that a lot of people are coming out and talking about this. Even victims of abuse are even calling him out, saying, like, this isn't cool. I was a huge fan of Mama Max, but this obviously kind of puts a stinker on the whole thing. And it kind of brings me to the next part of the topic that I wanted to just kind of go over, because it's kind of been my latest obsession. I've been brain rotting over really petty stuff like Hassan Piker drama and Dream drama and Pokimane drama and a bunch of other people drama. It's this really bad habit of mine where I just get sucked into this, like, cesspool of brain rot, like I said, where it's like, it's not good for me to listen and be invested in this stuff, but I just am, because I don't know if it's the psychology in me, the psychologist, but not that I am a psychologist. Let me reiterate, I have a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology, but I am not a licensed or practiced psychologist or psychiatrist. So I am not a professional by any means, nor am I making any claims to be. I just have a little bit more experience understanding and learning psychology than some other people. I'm just throwing that out there again, just to protect myself and protect anyone that's listening to me. I'm an idiot on the internet, which leads me to this. I think there are 3 types of content creators, like the big ones, the famous ones. The self-aware that are open about it, the self-aware that keep it quiet, and then the, once again, not a psychologist, I can't confirm this, this is just a speculation, the psychopath, sociopath, narcissists that are basically just running rampant and being grifters and getting that bag, getting that money, right? And do they all have talent? Yes. I'm not saying they don't have talent, otherwise they wouldn't be where they are. But I do think it's these 3 types of streamers, YouTube content creators, TikTokers. These are the 3 people that they basically, they're the ones that are getting all the money. And I am jealous. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be shit-talking people. I am jealous. I make an average salary. I have an okay lifestyle and job, but, like, if my car were to get wrecked in total, like, I would be financially struggling. So I'm not broke, but I'm also not sitting, in my bathtub full of cash, right? So I am jealous that some people are doing this. They're able to do lowest effort, high rewards. They're millionaires, generational wealth. I'm going to be transparent. This comes from a jealousy side. I am not denying that whatsoever. First, you have the self-aware, but also making everyone else aware that, they're big. They're a big streamer. They make a lot of money. And that would be Ludwig. Ludwig is a perfect example because he always jokes, but is truthful about how he makes a lot of money, how he spends a lot of money, how he rips other people's content off and gets views for it. And Charlie would also be one of these other people. And I admire them because they know that they have reached this level and they make so much money, and they have an audience of people that aren't to their level, but they respect them and they know they are the communities that built them up over time. That's a big key to this. Then you have the self-aware that are more reserved and more quiet, like Asmongold. He's very self-aware that he is a multi-millionaire, but he doesn't ever gloat about it or joke about it. And then he also doesn't have takes that belittle people that are supporting his channel and then aren't as rich as he is. Then you have what I think is the really air quote successful, as in recognition, money, wealth, fame, popularity YouTubers and streamers who are, once again, not a psychologist. I can't actually. I have a assumption that they probably would fall under the narcissistic and sociopathic categories, which makes sense because most of the successful, richest people in the world, studies have shown, research has shown, are sociopaths. To get to that CEO level of companies, like, you have to have a lack of empathy and be very narcissistic driven for your goals and stuff like that. It's just been scientifically proven. I'm not saying any of these people are. I just have a theory and assumption due to behaviors and what we see from a viewer side. Once again, I don't know any of these people personally. It's very parasocial. It's very off. But what they're showing online is anything to prove what they are offline. Like, it's not looking good. You got your XQCs, your Sniper Wolf, your Pokimane, your Hassan Piker, who else? Your Dream. Like, these are all really successful, really big people that they are so out of touch, I could say, with the audience that they just cannot perceive any of their wrongdoings, and they can't see how what they say and what they do is, like, not acceptable behavior, and they can't seem to understand that their audience, their community, built them to where they are now, and without that community, they would not have been there. They're grifters. Most of these people that I'm mentioning also, some of them, I mean, varying success with what their creative outputs are, but some of them are also just low-effort, high-reward grifters. Just like that's what it is. And I'm jealous because I want to put out low-effort content and be a millionaire, but hey, here I am. I want to go over some quick examples real quick and then wrap this video up. The first thing is we all have probably heard. If you haven't, I'll be really short about like what's going on. The Pokimane situation recently where she released healthy cookies or allegedly healthy cookies. It seems to be white labeled, very similar to other brands, but at a higher price point. And that's not an issue, right? Like, people do this all the time. The issue is that when people were addressing these criticisms, rightfully so, her fan base even, she said that, you know, it's not her problem if you're a broke boy. And that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because she claimed she was joking, but when you watch the clip, it doesn't seem like she's joking. She seems very genuine and serious about it if you keep watching what happens after that. She only calls it a joke once there's a lot of public backlash, and her PR team probably got her on the phone because she doesn't realize, because she seems to be out of touch with the fact that her fans made her the way she is. They give their money to her to make her successful. They watch her streams, and a lot of them are just average, you know, people. They work at, you know, fast food places. They make minimum wage, like $28 for a pack of cookies, and it's not a lot apparently, is ridiculous. And so that was one of those smaller out of touch moments. Bigger out of touch would be XQC. He knows he's rich. He's self-aware in that sense. But then, like, he doesn't think stealing content, reaction content, is bad. And that's not alleged. He steals it. He literally walks into other rooms and just plays videos without any type of transformation or, you know, he's abusing fair use, basically, and he's getting away with it and just showing off his wealth to other people. And Legal Eagle did a great video on this if you want to watch it. But yeah, so he's one of those other people that's just so out of touch, but then also aware about his wealth. It's more complex with XQC, but he's always in the news. He's always up to some shenanigans. Hassan Piker, I want to be honest, these next two examples, I have a hate boner for Hassan Piker, probably because I'm also jealous because his jawline and his physique, and it's like he's a good-looking guy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like he's good. He's good looking. And I mean that also proves more so on the narcissistic side. Like you really have to have a self-discipline and really look at yourself in the mirror and really be like, I want to commit to looking this good. So I mean that's part of the thesis that I have. But he's been dragged in the mud lately by Willie, the Willie Show or something, the Willie Mac Show. I don't know what it's called. Really good hit piece from him. It's very informative. It breaks down all of Hassan's really bad political takes. And I'm not going to go into the whole thing. I'm not a political guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, I really, like, it's not a big thing to me. But when you are advocating for groups of people to be eradicated, and when you're spewing so much hate towards certain groups and stuff, it just really irritates me. And because it's not on the right side, he gets away with it. And I'm now starting to make this a little bit more political. But besides the point, I've always had an irritation spot for Hassan, and right now he's getting dragged through the mud because all this evidence and stuff, and I think he's going to come out fine. But once again, it's that low-effort, high reward grifting that got him his $3 million mansion, because Willie proves that he doesn't do his research. He doesn't research politics. He just scrolls on Twitter, right? He puts more work into looking good and working out than he does to actually reporting on political pieces. And it's crazy. Like, he got into a debate with Willie and he couldn't even defend himself on that front. So Hassan Piker, also, I'm dragging through the mud there. Once again, jealous, completely jealous. I don't have a $3 million mansion. I am jealous. I can't just hop on a stream for 10 hours and just spew basically hate speech and get away with it. But, it's whatever. And then the second hate boner I have is towards Dream. He's very narcissistic, in my opinion. It's not a fact. It's just a legit suspicion. He has a lot going on. He's always tweeting. He's always thinking his fan base revolves around him. There's been a lot of controversial things where he gaslights the community and cheats on speedrunning and hires a mathematician to prove that he didn't cheat, even though then he confirms that he did cheat. He then gets his rabbit fan base and his toxic fan base to go out and harass people. He's been dragged in the mud for some alleged stuff with, how do I put this? Grooming dogs, but not dogs. And there's no evidence to this that I've seen so far and what I've watched on YouTube and stuff like that. So I don't think that he did it. I don't know for sure or not. We'll just have to wait. But, like, he's getting dragged through the mud, but he's making it way worse for himself because, like I said, he's an alleged narcissist where, in my opinion, like, he needs that attention even if it's bad attention. So he's constantly posting and trying to do this and that. And he's, like, secretly eating it up. Like, he probably hates that it's, like, a negative, but also loves the fact that, like, he's becoming relevant more so than he has been in a while. And it's just these examples that I just think are the state of the three types of content creators and why I think society is shifting to and has been shifting for a while since the internet has been thriving, since we have quick access to social media, since now kids on TikTok are trying to celebritize everybody with, like, fan cams, and everyone wants to be the center of attention. People are going and doing terrible things, calling them pranks just to get attention. It's getting crazy. It's becoming an epidemic, in my opinion, and I personally think that we just need to shut down. We need a mass EMP the internet for, like, 3 years and let civilization, like, heal again in order for anything to be right. But it's not going to happen. Brain rot's going to continue. AI is taking over. We're all doomed, guys. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly rant about this because it means a lot to me, just like seeing the whole scope of it and circling it back to Mama Max. He made it about himself. He became a narcissist in this. He wanted to do a clickbait meta commentary video. Actually, I don't even think he wanted to do that. I think it was just like his fall plan because Charlie wasn't responding to him because, once again, he was sick with COVID, so he didn't want to, respond. Well, because it wasn't with his agenda, his viewpoint and his schedule, he just decided, no, I want to use this as a time to get clout and attention for what he's thinking his call to action, his awareness. But in all honesty, he's only bringing negative attention to himself, not his cause or anything like that. He's making it look worse. He's making it look bad because he's just clout chasing, essentially. And it really breaks my heart because I was a huge fan of his content, and I haven't seen yet, as I'm recording this, that he's made any statements or retracted anything. But it's just really weird and scummy and manipulative, and I don't like it. Once again, I am not a psychologist, guys. Everything I said in this video is just an opinion. It's alleged. I don't actually know if people are sociopaths or narcissists. I just call it how I see it. I don't know any of these people personally. They could be very different offline. I doubt it. They're probably worse. But hey, that's just one man's opinion from the sidelines. That's it. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this, if you even care. I really don't know to an extent why I care. Once again, there's jealousy aspects and stuff like that. It's just really complicated. And yeah, I'm going to go rest my voice because I'm sick, if you couldn't tell. Bye.